It feels like a dream has materialized. We've received an incredible inheritance of $300 million through our very own company. When the employees noticed my sister-in-law, Mary, reveling in our father's good fortune, they began to murmur among themselves. Their joy was palpable, and Mary confidently declared, "Shoo, quiet down. This is the moment when my husband takes the reins of the company and secures $3 million. Upon hearing this, one of the workers couldn't help but laugh aloud. My older brother, sitting next to his bewildered wife, needed to consult a lawyer about a will. His complexion drained as he read the document. "Check this out," my brother said, showing it to her, and she screamed. "I'm Lucy, 29 years old, and I'm employed at my father's business. When he was younger, my dad had the brilliant idea to launch a company from the ground up. Over time, it blossomed into a sizable enterprise with numerous employees. However, right after starting it, he fell into debt. Even as a child, I recognized how challenging it was for him. Despite the company's growth, I still wanted to assist my mom with her administrative tasks in the office. My parents encouraged me to pursue a college education and explore any career I wished, but my heart was set on working for my dad's business. That desire consumed my thoughts after I graduated high school. When I joined the company, Bob, a longtime employee, was my first mentor in the business world. He treated me like everyone else, not just as the boss's daughter. Thanks to Bob, I gained valuable insights into how the company operated. My brother, Tom, who is just 2 years older than I am, attended college to study management. He took pride in telling everyone that our father ran a business and that he would take over it one day. His friends often asked, "What are your plans after college, Tom? Are you going to search for a job?" Tom would reply, "I don't need to look for a job. I'll be working at my dad's company. Eventually, I'll be the president, so I'm taking my time to learn the ropes." Wow, you're going to be the next president. That sounds like such a secure future. I'm a bit envious, one of Tom's friends remarked. "Hey, don't you have a younger sister? Won't there be competition over who takes over the company?" Another friend inquired. "Yes, I have a younger sister, but she just graduated high school and is quite grounded," Tom responded. "You always say that, but I've heard she's actually doing significant work behind the scenes at the company. If I become president, I'll definitely keep her around as long as she follows my lead," Tom assured. My brother was spending lavishly and enjoying himself, pretending it was all part of his business education. He realized that by playing his cards right, he would attract many friends, and his status as the future president made him popular with women interested in dating him. He ended up marrying Mary, who was glamorous and striking. They had an extravagant wedding, enjoyed a lavish honeymoon abroad, built a sprawling mansion, and embarked on their new life together. He claimed he was doing all this to enhance his image as the company's future president. Mary appeared pleased with Tom. He listened to her and indulged her in a life of luxury. I highly doubted she would want to lead the kind of life I had, where I worked behind the scenes alongside my mom in my father's business. Someone once said to me, "Lucy, you don't seem like the CEO's daughter. You don't behave like a president's child." She remarked that Mary would often chuckle at me when we encountered each other at family gatherings. "I prefer a simpler lifestyle," I responded. She gazed at me with a look of pity. "I feel sorry for you for being the president's daughter yet not knowing how to enjoy your wealth. You still live with your parents and have plenty of money, so there's no need to work hard. And with your title, shouldn't men be drawn to you?" My brother interjected. "Yeah, she's right. Lucy has always been so modest. People wouldn't even suspect her dad is the president. She treats everyone as equals. It's surprising. I still have much to learn in my position. Many of my coworkers outperform me, so I can't act like I'm the boss," I countered, but my brother looked taken aback. "That's why you're not effective. A leader must stand out to earn respect from their team. Let others handle the simpler tasks. It seems only Dad and I truly hold authority around here. You shouldn't look down on your colleagues, no matter how powerful you may be." Before I could respond, my brother cut me off, irritation evident in his tone. "A woman who's overly rational isn't appealing to men," Mary chimed in. "If you keep speaking like that, you'll never find a husband. You should consider being more attractive, don't you think, Tom?" "Yeah, well, when I become president, I might just let go of a humble employee like you," Tom remarked. After that, my brother and Mary made their excuses and left in haste. My mother, who had remained silent during the exchange, comforted me afterward, saying, "You're doing excellent work for the company, which greatly benefits your father and me. Don't let Tom's words get to you." My dad nodded, his expression grave. They had already expressed their disapproval of Tom's ideas directly to him, but after that, he and Mary became upset and didn't visit us for over a month. I remembered how somber those days were and told my parents, Tom and Mary can say whatever they wish. After that, Tom and Mary continued living their lives as they pleased, frequenting upscale restaurants and luxurious resorts. It all seemed a facade to project that Tom would eventually be the president of my dad's company. My dad was tirelessly working to expand his business, but one evening at home, he began complaining of chest pain. "Dad, are you all right? Just try to remain calm. I'll call for an ambulance," I urged. "Lucy, grab this." As we awaited the ambulance, my dad gestured toward a drawer and told me he had written a letter for me. I quickly pulled the letter from the drawer. "If anything happens to me, I want you to read this. Everything else will be handled by the lawyers," he gasped before slipping into unconsciousness. Despite our frantic attempts to save him, the ambulance arrived too late, and he never regained consciousness. My brother and Mary were away on vacation when my father died, leaving my mother and me to cope with everything. They returned 2 days later, just in time for the funeral. At the end of the service, Tom remarked, "We're just relieved we made it back in time. I never thought my father would pass while we were away." I was taken aback. They showed up at the funeral without a care in the world, seemingly oblivious to the burden my mother and I were left to carry. I pulled my brother aside for a private conversation, making sure the employees wouldn't overhear. "Couldn't you have returned sooner?" I asked him. "What? I couldn't help it. Our flight was already booked," he replied, offering no apology. He then turned to the employees, saying, "Thank you all for your support. I will now step into my father's shoes with honor." Mary scanned the room, and seeing the employees' silence, she chimed in, "That's exactly how Tom should act. Everyone's impressed, right? It's only natural given my husband's dignity." With a sense of entitlement, Tom told me, "Lucy, isn't the ceremony about to start? Please, lead the way." I was frustrated by his arrogance, but I guided him and the employees to the dining area. As we ate, my brother continued to belittle everything. "Lucy, don't you think the quality of this food is questionable? It might tarnish our father's reputation as president," he criticized. "Mom and I had already chosen the menu together. Besides, I don't need your input on this. It's evident that many people fail to grasp what being a president truly means." I shot back, "He didn't just boss me around, he also ordered the other employees around." "You're useless," he declared. When I overheard him giving orders to Bob, a loyal employee, I quickly stepped in. "Tom, that's unacceptable. Don't belittle Bob or any of our staff. They deserve our respect." "Why should I show humility to someone who's just an employee? They should respect me as president," he countered. Mary supported him, adding, "That's right, Lucy, stop disrespecting Tom, our company's president. If you continue to defy him, he has the authority to fire you. He's in charge," she warned. As tensions escalated, a man approached us. "Excuse me for interrupting. Your father asked me to oversee his inheritance," he announced. It struck me that my father had mentioned hiring a lawyer while still alive, indicating he had been preparing for his passing for some time. Tom and Mary's faces brightened at the mention of inheritance. They welcomed the lawyer enthusiastically. "Tom says thank you for coming. Let's wrap this up quickly," the lawyer began. However, Tom soon broke down in tears. "Wasn't my father's inheritance supposed to be $300 million? Mary, brimming with excitement, exclaimed, "300 million? That's like a dream come true for our company." The employees began to murmur among themselves, and Mary declared to the grieving crowd, "Please be quiet. This is the moment when the company and its $300 million inheritance pass to Tom." At this, one employee erupted with laughter. My brother was reading the will beside a perplexed Mary, his expression turning pale as he absorbed the contents. "Mary, according to the will, the entire company will go to the eldest daughter, Lucy," he stammered. He stared at the will in disbelief before exclaiming, "This can't be, it's wrong." The lawyer, looking troubled, replied, "This is a legally binding will." Tom's voice grew frantic. "What? I can't believe this. How can Lucy be president instead of me? Maybe Dad was just old and forgetful." Mary added, "Yeah, your father wasn't thinking clearly. A woman ruled by someone losing their mind is worthless." I couldn't take it any longer. I refused to stand by as they insulted my late father. "Enough. The notion of my brother Tom becoming president is even more ludicrous," I asserted. My brother exploded with anger. "What are you implying? That I'm unfit to be president?" he retorted. Without hesitation, I fired back, "Exactly. How can you lead this company when you've never truly contributed to it? That's absurd. Mary and I built a mansion fit for a president, and we've worked to maintain that image, he defended. Building a mansion unworthy of a leader and dining extravagantly? That's not good for business. Didn't Dad cover most of the costs for that lavish house? How would you know? I countered. Right before he passed, Dad left me a letter outlining all the money he spent on you. He stated that he would gift you something during his lifetime, so your share of the estate is practically nothing. I revealed this to Mary, who immediately panicked. Wait, does the inheritance truly amount to $300 million? Have we actually spent that much already? It's unfair that we're left with so little. The employee who had been chuckling earlier quickly approached Mary and clarified that $300 million comes from the company's assets, not from personal wealth. Everyone here understands that company funds aren't meant for family inheritance. I reiterated for Mary, exactly. The company's finances aren't for splitting among relatives, so I highly doubt my brother's share is substantial. That's devastating, Mary sighed, her shock evident. Oh no, Lucy, she exclaimed, clearly taken aback. The inheritance was set at $300 million. Suddenly, my brother leaped to his feet, as if struck by a revelation, and shouted at the employees, "Do you really want an ordinary woman like Lucy to lead the company? You must recognize I'm far more qualified. I possess the same charisma as our father." Not a single colleague supported him. Bob, stepping forward, addressed my brother directly. Your father, the one you're set to replace, was a charismatic founder of this company, but you're nothing like him. What you have is arrogance, not charm. My brother exploded in anger at Bob's calm rebuttal. Tom, you may have a position here, but the rest of us hardly ever see you, Bob continued. I don't have time for menial tasks. I'm too busy networking with important people, my brother defended himself. Networking? Is that what you call going on trips and partying all night? That's hardly sufficient, Bob shot back. Meanwhile, Lucy has been working diligently every day, learning about the company and handling her responsibilities quietly. I see in her the same dedication that I saw in your father. Lucy is the one we believe should lead this company. After Bob spoke, the other employees nodded in agreement. I felt touched and replied, "Thank you all very much. Honestly, I'm surprised by this support. Having witnessed my father's dedication to this company firsthand, I strive to show the same commitment. I truly appreciate your backing." The employees warmly applauded, and I bowed deeply in gratitude. Fueled by their support, I declared, "Every single one of you here is a valued friend who has played a role in our business. Anyone who fails to recognize that is unfit to be part of this company, let alone its president. Even a president can be dismissed by the employees." My brother bristled at my words. "What are you saying? I'm your brother. What do you mean?" "You were the one who threatened to fire me if you became president," I reminded him. "I can't keep paying a salary to an incompetent employee just because he's family. This is absurd. Can anyone please back me up here?" He pleaded with those around him, but all he received were icy glares from the employees. Realizing he had no support, my brother and Mary hurriedly left the room. After that, Tom lost his job and was left to rely on the small inheritance he received, which didn't last long. "Can you lend me some money, Lucy?" he begged, kneeling in front of me. I was appalled by my brother's actions. Even after losing his job, he showed no inclination to seek new employment and still expected help from the family. I firmly instructed my mother not to assist him financially. His friends, who once supported him, abandoned him when they learned he lost the presidency to me. His sister, when Mary married Tom, she had dreamed of being the wife of the company president, but none of her friends showed any sympathy as their financial circumstances worsened. My brother and Mary decided to sell their mansion. The funds from the sale could have sustained their lifestyle, but without any income, their savings dwindled rapidly. Once they ran out of possessions to sell, they struggled to manage their expenses. Eventually, they realized they needed to find jobs, but no one was willing to hire them due to their lack of experience. In the end, Tom found a part-time position at a convenience store. Now he's in an unfamiliar role, facing criticism from younger coworkers. Mary's situation shifted as well. She's no longer a full-time housewife, but now works as a cashier at a supermarket alongside the very part-time housewives she once looked down on. Her pay is minimal. Meanwhile, I'm leveraging my experience from my behind-the-scenes work to foster growth in the company. With the support of Bob and other employees, the company is flourishing. Ironically, my brother's downfall has united the staff even more. I've committed to working alongside my mother to expand the business, aiming to honor my father's memory in heaven. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Stay amazed.